Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your first last 16 recap of the Africa Cup of Nations. We've had 2 games today, we're going to have another 2 tomorrow, and then I think for the next 2 days after that till we complete the last 16. And what a first day of the last 16 this was. We had 2 matches on show for you today, Burkina Faso against Gabon and Nigeria against Tunisia. And we're going to start off with the first game of the day, which is Burkina Faso against Gabon. We'll come to Nigeria and Tunisia in the second part of the video. Of course, I do know there's quite a few Nigerians that watch me. And yeah, we'll address everything that needs to be said about that game in the second part of this video. Let's start with Burkina Faso and Gabon, which was the first last 16 game of the day. This game, I think, when I look back at the competition, this was the best game of the tournament so far. In terms of, as a neutral, this had everything. Everything in terms of goals, disallowed goals, red cards, penalty shootouts, all sorts. This game had everything. Fantastic game of football. Burkina Faso could have gone 1-0 up after 18 minutes with Bertrand Traoré. They didn't because he missed the penalty. Now, penalty was given. Was that a penalty? It's one of those tough ones. It's one of those tough ones where you can understand why it was given, but personally, I don't think there was enough in it to be given, especially with how it went down. There was a cross from inside the box from one of the Burkina Faso players, and the Gabon defender pretty much landed on him, right? And that was why the penalty was given. And I'm thinking, it didn't really look like there was any malice or anything, you know, really intentional in that. It was just, he fell on him. That's it. Penalty was given. Now, Bertrand Traoré missed that penalty. So it stays 0-0. But not long afterwards, 10 minutes after, can I just point out, Ouattara, what an assist by Ouattara to Bertrand Traoré. The pass, that through ball, was fantastic. Beautiful through ball into Bertrand Traoré, who manages to split himself in between the 2 central defenders. The goalkeeper comes running out. He hits it with the side of his foot. He places it into the near bottom corner of the goal, and it's 1-0 to Burkina Faso. Again, just a fantastic piece of action here in terms of the through ball and the finish. Great finish by Bertrand Traoré. And then later on, we go into the second half. 3 substitutions made by Gabon, and then they end up going a man down. Very, very, very stupid second yellow card, can I just say, by Obisa. Ridiculous. You're on a yellow card. Yeah, you're on a yellow card. There's an action of play coming against you. You have one man that you're after. There's another person with the ball. What do? Instead of just trying to stay with your man, or at least try and catch up with your man firstly, he literally grabs him and yanks him back. Now, in football, that's called a professional foul. And that is an automatic yellow card. Whether it's a shirt pull or the holding back of a player, it's an automatic yellow card, right? And players do that on purpose sometimes to stop the action, basically. And that always warrants a yellow card. You're on a yellow card. So you do that. You do that, knowing you're going to get sent off if you do it. Stupid. Very, 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 very dumb. So Obisa costs Gabon. They go down to 10 men, but that wasn't the end. That wasn't the end. And there were disallowed goals here. Just Burkina Faso getting another goal, and that was disallowed. Player had his shirt off, was ready to celebrate. That was offside. Gabon with one. That was disallowed. Again, offside. So this game had everything. But with 10 men, in the last minute of the game, it goes in. And it's 1-1. And Gabon with 10 men have managed to rescue themselves and take this game to extra time. The own goal by Adam Guira, in the end, it wasn't a header by one of the Gabon players. It ended up becoming an own goal. So it was an own goal in the 91st minute. And then throughout extra time, nothing occurred. But then we went to penalties. And this penalty shootout was ridiculous. It was ridiculous because whatever Gabon did, Burkina Faso did. When Gabon score, Burkina Faso score. When Gabon miss, Burkina Faso miss. Until the very end where Gabon missed and then Burkina Faso scored. It was literally 1-1 and then 2-2 and then 3-3 and then Gabon miss, Burkina Faso miss and then 4-4 and then 5-5 and then 6-6 and then Burkina Faso miss, Gabon miss, Burkina Faso miss, Gabon miss again, and then Burkina Faso go, no, we're knocking you out now, that's it. And Ouedraogo takes the last penalty, sticks it in, and Burkina Faso are the first team to make it to the quarterfinals of the Africa Cup of Nations 2021. Obviously 2021 because this was meant to be played last year, not this year, but everything got postponed. So Burkina Faso have qualified and they find themselves in the quarterfinals. Congratulations, Burkina Faso. Unlucky to Gabon. This was just a great game of football overall. A fantastic knockout game. Beautiful knockout game. So commiserations to Gabon. They now go home. And Burkina Faso stay for the quarterfinals. And they are going to be played against either Nigeria or Tunisia. We're going to come into that now. Nigeria versus Tunisia. This game was crazy. I did not expect Nigeria to get knocked out. I really didn't. You guys have seen my reviews throughout this Africa Cup of Nations. I've told you guys. Day one, I wasn't really convinced by Nigeria, but they got their result. Day two, I started to think, okay, this is now they're starting to look decent. By the third match day of the group stage, I was looking at them going, yeah, you know what? I mean, they're through. They've rotated their team. They've managed to even get a win with that. I mean, everything's looking nice for Nigeria, yeah? Play against Tunisia, I expect Nigeria to win. Nigeria are out, ladies and gentlemen. That's the shock of this last 16 match day. Nigeria are out of the Africa Cup of Nations, and I did not expect this whatsoever. But Tunisia have qualified. How did this game go down? There is some controversy involved. We're going to come to it. But this game was pretty much plain and a bit of a stalemate up until the goal, which occurred in the 47th minute, straight after half time and the beginning of the second half. It was a case of Tunisia being very solid defensively. Nigeria were having a very hard time and being able to combine, get through the spaces, try and find those gaps. Tunisia had it on lock. On lock. Defensively, they were superb, Tunisia. They didn't really do much going forward, though. You could see they were trying to just wait for the counter-attack. Nigeria were trying to penetrate through. They couldn't. That's what I found surprising, because the talent that they had on the pitch throughout the group stage have been phenomenal. But this is the thing about African football. On its day, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. You actually never know. And players that look fantastic together, all of a sudden can just look like they haven't played together. It's crazy. Nigeria today found it very difficult to get through Tunisia. Only up until when they conceded, you could see they really started to give it a little more, and Tunisia went a little bit more defensive and relied a little bit more on the counter-attack. But the goal was, for Nigeria, a bit of a silly goal to concede. I have to say why. Not necessarily because of the shot. I'm not saying that. Or the goalkeeper missing it with his glove. But the space that was given to Masakni on the edge of the box, when there was already one attempt on a shot, it got deflected by a defender. It hit a defender, went back to Masakni. Masakni still managed to take a touch. Look up, with all that time, what were Nigeria doing in terms of defending? And then he takes the shot, manages to go through. It has a little bit of bend on it, a nice little bit of swerve. So the goalkeeper, you could see, shifts to one side, and then he realizes it's going the other way, and he tries to make it. He does make it, but his hand's not solid enough, and it literally goes behind into the roof of the net, and it's 1-0 Tunisia, and that was the advantage Tunisia were looking for. They didn't really have to do too much in terms of attacking, but they got that goal, and that was their lifeline. That was their advantage. That was their leverage, should I say, because now they were able to just rely on containing, close everything up, and just try and keep this lead. Simple. And they did in the end. Nigeria were giving it more. They were giving it more. They brought on some subs. They managed to change a couple of players around, and this is where the substitutions went wrong. Why? Because Ian Archo came off for Iwobi, and Owaniyi came off for Olayinka. These subs, in the 59th minute, literally 6-7 minutes later, Alex Iwobi is shown a straight red card. Now, I know there's going to be some people that are saying, it's not a red, that was never a red. Here's the thing, my interpretation of this challenge in terms of what happened. Alex Iwobi goes in, you could see Alex Iwobi tries to go and protect the ball. You could see he tries to take the ball literally with his foot and drag it away from the defender. I don't know what happens. When he goes in for the challenge, it almost looks like his foot slips off the ball. It almost looks like that. But at the end of the day, after that, it was studs straight to the ankle of the Tunisian player. And by the rule book, this is where it went to VAR. Initially, Iwobi was given a yellow card, free kick. Went to VAR. VAR told the referee, go and look at the screen. It could be a red card. It could be violent conduct. He goes to the screen. By the rule book, it's a red. As much as I can sympathize if Iwobi didn't do that intentionally, because it didn't look like he did that intentionally. But the rules say, if there's studs to someone's leg and no ball, it's a red. Done. Referee has looked at that. It studs to the leg, to the ankle, and it's a red. It's a red. I sympathise because, as I said, I don't think he done that intentionally. But that challenge ended up with studs to the ankle. And that is a red card challenge by the rules. So Nigeria go down to 10. Tunisia find life a little easier after that, especially with the more space. You could see after the red card, Tunisia started to attack a little bit more. Why? Because they have more space. Best way to defend at that point is to have control of the game when you know you have more space to. So they started doing that. And Nigeria, with a couple of chances towards the end, could have scored, should have scored, you could say. Especially with that one chance where the goalkeeper managed to come out for it just in time. If not, I think the Nigeria striker would have been in on goal. But Nigeria are out of the competition. Tunisia managed to hold on and they see it through the 94th minute. It finishes Nigeria 0, Tunisia 1. What I do want to say is I remember throughout the group stage, I could see quite a lot of Nigerians, especially after the very good performances in the group stage, all saying, that's it, we're going to win it, to the point where even I was convinced going, you know what, Nigeria looked the more stable, the more consistent team out of everyone so far. This is the thing about African football, and this is something that I've learned this tournament, especially with Algeria, because I understand how good our team is. And I understand how good some of the other African teams are. But when you look in terms of the way that this competition has gone, there's a big lesson to be learned. There is no little African country anymore. And ultimately, anything can happen at any game in African football. Anything. It's not like elsewhere where you see a favourite, you can see a team that's stronger, that they should be getting that result. You know, you can see even in the Premier League is a bad example because anything can happen. But I'll give you an example. You see Manchester City play Norwich, for example, and you just know Man City are levels above Norwich. I don't really, you know that Norwich, okay, you're going to need a flipping miracle to get a lifeline here. In African football, no. In African football, on any given day, anything is possible. Anything is possible. This is a shock. Nigeria were looked at as the most stable and consistent team throughout the group stage. They were on board now to become the favourites. Boom, out of the competition. Anything can happen. And let me tell you now, this Tunisian team, it's good. But on paper, when you look at it, it's not the best. But then again, look at some of the other countries that have made it to the last 16. Equatorial Guinea have qualified to the last 16. Comoros have qualified to the last 16. It's their first ever participation in the flipping competition. They're in the last 16. Malawi have qualified to the last 16. African football, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So my lesson that I want to show you, which I've learned this tournament, is to never put your money on anyone. Simple as that. Because on any given day, anything is possible. And today's result is a prime example of that. Tunisia are in the quarterfinals where they will be playing Burkina Faso. And Nigeria, weirdly enough, are heading home. So there we are. It wraps up day 1 of the last 16. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Any Burkinabes, any Gabonese in the comments. Let me know what you thought about your countries. Any Nigerians, any Tunisians, let me know what you thought about your countries and the games today. I'd love to hear it. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Make sure to catch my recap tomorrow for day 2 of the last 16, where it's going to get crazy and intense for the hosts. We've got Guinea versus Gambia. Again, Gambia qualifying for the last 16. I mean, anything can happen. And Cameroon versus Comoros, the hosts, against the minnows. Let's see if we're going to get one of these crazy shocks. Cameroon, they have the home advantage. We'll see. But again, don't put your money on it. Anything is possible. We'll find out what happens tomorrow, and I'll see all of you then. Have a good one, people. Have a good one. Take care. Good night, and peace.